How are you today?
I am amazing. Worked out this
Likewise.
morning, woke up, walked out this morning. I'm good.
So I've been seeing you around a lot, I would say, in the past decade. But when
hmm
I did some research on you, you were in Boys in the Hood.
Yeah, yeah. That was my first kind of really major role. And yeah, from there on, it was just, we kept it moving.
Yeah, and you were always working. So number one, how was it working with the late John Singleton?
It was amazing. John not only gave me the opportunity, but John was a big mentor in my life. And I looked at him as a big brother. You know, we actually spoke maybe a couple of months before he passed. But yeah, John has always kind of been in my life after Boys in the Hood.
And you've
Yeah.
been consistently working. What kept you motivated and things like that?
I think just the passion, the love for it, that kind of really kept me going. I really, as at an early age, found out what my passion was, and from that point on, it was just I just kind of locked in and with the help of my mom and family and friends, who supported and encouraged me, I was able to just be consistent, because that's the hard thing in this business is being consistent because there's so much rejection going on that you be like, man, I don't know if I'm built for this. I don't know if I want to do this. But just really having a true love and passion for the craft, and wanting to set goals and wanted to start knocking those things down. So that kept me consistent. That kept me active in this business and working.
With this past strike,
Yeah.
what did you have to tap into to kind of get through that? Because you had a project that came out during.
hmm
Yeah.
hmm
So what
Yeah.
did you have to tap into to sort of stay sane during that time?
I tapped into what is called side hustles, which I never left. So I've always had side hustles. I was telling people, season 3 of All American, I was working maybe two or three jobs, because
Really?
I wasn't on the show consistently. So I was working for Google, I was working for this company called Tesla. I was doing brand ambassador work. So I've always had a side job. And at the end of the day, I've been in the business since the 80s. So this is not my first strike. You know what I mean? This is not my first rodeo. So once I knew the writers went on strike, I knew, in our business is a trickle down effect. So I knew that we were going to be next. So I just started, reaching out to, contacts and relationships that I've had with people that I've worked with before, side hustles. And actually, I worked during the strike.
Really?
And yeah, so I was doing PA work on Master Chef, Top Chef, uh, Master Chef Kids, you know what I'm saying? And a good friend of mine, Desi, she looked out for me, put me to work, and I flew out to Milwaukee, stayed out there for like a month and a half. After that was done, they started Master Chef Kids and Master Chef out here in LA and started that and really finished those jobs December 18th. So it was like right when the strike ended
So it's really like
before.
it's having more than one talent within this industry
Yeah,
allows you.
absolutely. Yeah. You have to be resourceful. Number one, and I think for me, being born and raised in Los Angeles, I feel like I had, a little bit of a head start. You know what I'm saying? Being here and kind of learning the ropes early. That kind of helped me out as well.
I've
Yeah,
been watching All American for a very long time.
yeah.
And I feel like Preach has had one of the biggest growths throughout the
Yes.
entire series. What do you love so much about playing that character?
I think it's what you said. You see the growth, and that's real. That's something that people can relate to. We've known people who have made taken a wrong turn, and then you see them learning from that mistake and really progressing throughout. As they grow and really seeing them turning their lives around. And I think that's what Preach represents for all American, is that I think everybody knows a Preach, whether it's in their family or their neighborhood or somebody that they grew up with. And that's the beauty about this show. That's the beauty about the writers and Keche Okoro, who's the showrunner, who's actually showing you layers of these characters. Preach is just one of those guys that took a wrong turn. He's very smart, but he just took a wrong turn. He learned from that, and now you see him progress to where he was fighting to become a father, to get custody of his daughter. Now he's a teacher at South Crenshaw. So now, going into this sixth season, we're starting to see, that come together. What does that look like for Preach as a teacher? And what other obstacles are going to come his way, and how he's going to be able to handle that.
Well, you've had quite a bit of storylines,
Mm-hmm.
a lot about
Mm-hmm.
rehabilitation and like redemption and
Yeah,
things like that.
yeah.
When it comes to your character, which one do you feel is the most important?
I think it's redemption. The show is based in Los Angeles. Really gang bang capital, but it has since spread to all these states. But to let these young men and women know that, hey, your mistakes don't define you. You're able to learn from that and become a productive citizen. But just being able to learn from that mistake and not be able to make it again. I think that's the lesson, and I think that's what is the most important thing to me, that Preach's character shows week in and week out.
Do you know when we're gonna get the sixth season? Because I've been waiting
Oh,
for.
we're shooting it. We're shooting it right now. We're
Okay, I was
shooting it
waiting
right
for like
now.
announcements of like when it's coming.
We've
But
we've actually they've had announcements, in the trades that once the strike was over, we were back to shooting. As far as when we'll be back on TV Mondays, I want to say either probably in February,
really,
mid to late February, or March for sure. That's when we'll be back on Monday. Excuse me, Mondays on the CW network.
I feel like I gotta double check that because I'm like, I feel like I didn't see the announcements of the
Yeah.
actual premiere date. That's what I was
Oh yeah,
looking
no, they haven't said the premiere date.
for.
They
Okay.
have said, hey, we are back in production. But I think maybe February, mid to late February or early March, you'll
Okay.
start to see us back on TV, and they'll probably make an announcement then.
Yeah, okay. Because I was like, I know
Mhm.
that y'all are coming back, but I'm not
Yeah,
seeing the
yeah,
comeback.
yeah.
Okay. You're in the episode of the Vince Staples show.
Yes.
I got a chance to check it out. It's a great show. What did being in that episode, a family reunion, all of that, what did that mean to you or bring like feelings to you and things like that?
Everybody, if you're black, everybody's been to a family reunion. There's some inner family fighting that happens because somebody don't like somebody, or what I mean. And I think what's so special about this show and funny is that there's realness. It's grounded in realness and in truth, and I think people are going to be able to relate to that show, relate to that episode. But most importantly, the show overall, which is super funny. Vince Staples is an amazing talent. Big shout out to him and Maurice Williams, who's one of the EP showrunners, and Kenya Barris, and William Stephen Smith, who directed it. So, just super happy to be a part of it. And, fun fact, I've worked with Vince Staples before. I did his video that Cal Maddock directed. I think he's going to the barbershop and he's fighting with these two bloods. But I'm in the barbershop. It's me and Dwayne Finley from the Wood. So that's kind of like how I got introduced.
Okay.
And so it was just like a full circle of just like, hey, being a part of his TV show.
No, that's dope. Yeah, I checked it out and I was like, I didn't quite know fully what to expect, but I loved it. I was hooked. I was like a few episodes in and I was like, this is a great concept because as much as it's funny, it was so many like messages that I took away from it. What projects do you have in the works?
As of right now, it's just the Vince Staples show. Obviously, I'm shooting All American right now. I also have an independent project that I've been working on for about a year, and it's a TV show. So we are finishing up editing the pilot, and we are looking to pitch and get it on TV.
Talk about it yet?
Can't talk about it yet. It's got some really dope individuals. Watt Sticks, Bad Luck, uh, Bam, Rico was on Insecure, myself. So yeah, it's it's gonna be something special. I can't really talk about it, but it's gonna be
Okay,
something
so I'm
special.
like, now what projects
Absolutely.
would you like to take on?
I mean, I think for me, it doesn't matter. I'm not hooked on any genre because I feel that I have range to be able to dib and dab in the comedy, as far as the drama.
And
I
horror.
think and horror. Thank you. See, you get so many other things going on, you forget, but yeah, and horror. So it's I would definitely like to do more comedy because I think people who recognize me from All American and my character is such a serious character. I think people need to see a little bit more of the comedic side, and they'll be able to see some of that in the Vince Staples show. So yeah. But that's it doesn't matter with me. I'm so open and ready. Yeah,
So
yeah.
lately, the conversation's been about, or for me at least,
Hmm.
supporting our projects, supporting us in
Yeah.
theater, supporting our shows.
Hmm.
But I also, well, I feel as though the average everyday person has no idea why it's important to watch things at a certain time and like
Hmm.
things like that.
Hmm.
What would you say? Because I feel like we want the support, but we don't know how to support or the
Yeah.
correct way to. So what would you say if someone's like, well, how can I support your show and things like that?
Yeah, I think it's just, if you don't know, you don't know. But I think, if when you have outlets and platforms like this, it's just important to let people know how to support the show as you support it, the first weekend or the first week that it comes out, to where, they're able to, count the clicks and the hours. And same thing with films, you have Origins. That's an amazing movie that Ava DuVernay has put out. Not a lot of advertisement, but it's just been word of mouth of hey, let's get out the first weekend because that counts. That's usually kind of like the standard in Hollywood is that hey, the first weekend lets how well the movie does. And same thing for a TV show. Now we're in the age of streaming, they're able to see, oh, how many hours this is being viewed, how many clicks, what's the watch time. So I think it's just very important once that show is on that platform that we definitely click on it and that we watch within that first couple of days, first weeks of that show being put out, because it matters. And when you have more eyeballs and more viewing hours, that lets the network know that hey, this is a popular show. This show is amazing, and we need to make it happen. And it's the same thing that happened with All American. People really discovered the show during the pandemic, and that show was number one for like 2 months on Netflix. You know what I'm saying? And lo and behold, the show becomes popular. That then says to the network, oh, we have a hit show that became a hit on the streaming services. And then now you have those people who watch streaming service come over to the CW. Now they're watching it, and here you have it. We're going into our sixth season. So that just goes to show that, of course, the support that you have for a show, the more you support it, the more you watch it, the more you click, it definitely helps in the long run to where it lets the network know, hey, we have a hot show. Let's keep feeding the machine. Let's keep feeding, what the audience and giving them what they need.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think
Mhm.
it's definitely more of having the conversation of how to support, not just saying,
Yeah,
oh, support, but it's like, this is how you can
yeah,
actually support, don't wait
exactly.
until the
Yeah,
season's over and things like that.
yeah. And same thing with our show. A lot of people's like, well, I'll wait until Netflix. No, watch it every Monday. You know what I'm saying? And I also tell people the CW app is free. You can download the app. If you miss it on Monday, it's up at midnight. So you can still watch it. So we're still trying to get you to watch and support these shows within the first 24, 48 hours of it being released. That's how you're able to support these shows and projects.
No, I agree. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for that, because I've
Yeah.
been I started saying, we should just start having a conversation, so
Yeah.
the narrative will just shift from not support, but this is how you support. Just give a little
Yeah.
instruction.
Yeah. Don't
Yeah.
wait till Netflix if it's not a Netflix show.
Okay.
Watch it every week at their time. And then, the extra bonus is when it goes to Netflix, you can watch it all over again.
So thanks for that. Now,
Yeah.
do you have any like mantras, or like how do you stay motivated and just an everyday basis? How do you get up, work out, do things like that?
Yeah. I always believe in paying myself, and paying myself is whatever for me is working out. So paying yourself can be meditating, it could be reading a book, it could be, breathing exercises, whatever it is, you always have to pay you first before you can pay anybody else. So you always have to fill your cup up first before you can fill anybody else's cup. And that's just what I live by. And, staying in gratitude, any day you're able to wake up, like 2 Chainz say, I woke up today, so I'm winning. Today somebody didn't wake up, like literally Tuesday, January 30th at 11:25, somebody took their last breath. Somebody didn't wake up in their right mind. They don't have feeling in their limbs. And you know what I'm saying? So it's things like that that constantly remind me of just living in gratitude and being grateful each and every day. I'm able to wake my eyes and take a breath to say, hey, I got another chance of being good again, being great today.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. I
Yeah.
appreciated this conversation. Is
Yeah,
there anything
absolutely.
else you want to add about your
Yeah.
career, yourself?
I'm also one of the brand ambassadors for the Pan African Film Festival, which will be in Los Angeles, California, held at the Cinemark 15 theaters over there by the Crenshaw Mall. That's February 6th through I think the 19th. And I think opening day or opening night is February 7th. So if you are in the Los Angeles area, definitely stop on by. If you're a filmmaker or looking to get into the industry, I think this will be a great avenue for you guys to come hang out. Definitely, watch films, but also meet, and filmmakers and actors, and just be able to, move and groove and handshake and kiss babies. That's
That's a good one.
the
Okay.
old school way.
Oh, okay, because I'm like, haven't
Yeah.
quite heard that one yet. I said maybe it's because you on the West Coast and I'm from the East, so I said the
Right,
lingo.
right. Right, it is a different lingo. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I'll say network. Network across, network up. So it's just a great place to network for sure.
Yeah, network across, network up. I love that.
Yep,
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to
absolutely.
me, and
Thank
congratulations,
you.
on your continued career and success.
Thank you very much. I've always been rocking with Blex Media, so anytime they have something pop up, I'm definitely tapping and definitely tapping in. So for
I
sure.
appreciate it. I appreciate
Yes,
it.
indeed.
Have a good day.